on, we gotta get out of here.
What happened? My leg. My leg.
Right, let me try this.
He's bleeding. Please help me.
It's too heavy, Sam. I can't lift it.
Fire. This thing's on fire. It'll blow up any second, Draper.
His water's so
Take it easy, Sam. The rescue workers will be here any minute.
We're halfway down into the river. I know this bridge. There isn't a town inside 20 miles.
Take it easy. Hang in there.
Draper, this thing's gonna blow up any second. Quick. In my vest. The handcuff key. The handcuff key. Get out of my vest.
Lie still.
Stop worrying about me. I can hardly move, even if you got this thing off my leg. I think my back's broken. Quick, get the handcuff key out of my vest. Unlock the handcuffs.
All right. Maybe with this. Yeah. Oh, if I can use two hands.
Draper! Kill that woman, did you?
No! Of course I didn't.
Clint, for the love of God, get out of here! For your wife, for your kids, get out of here!
I can't leave you here!
Get out of here, Draper!
All right. I'll be back. I'm gonna get help.
Go on, Draper.
He's there. Keep running.
We gotta get full. Get full.
Stay here.
Go. Go. Gotta get full.
Stay free, kid. Stay free.
Hated leaving April alone in that hospital room just now.
Well, she said she needed time to be by herself.
She just didn't want to cry in front of us.
Probably be the best thing for her. Relieve some of the tensions.
Wouldn't be surprised if she cries herself to sleep every night for the next 15 years.
No, the shock is going to wear off after a little while. Oh, thank you.
Another day or two, she's going to be out of the hospital. What's she going to do then?
I tell you, I can't see her going back to Oakdale, not all by herself.
Oh, no, she can't be alone now. We have to ask her to come live with us, at least until Julia's out of the hospital.
Yeah, I agree.
She can stay with us beyond that. I'm sure Mrs. Goodman will pitch in.
Well, I know we're going to have to ask April how she feels about that.
Do you think she'll object?
You know, my little sister, sometimes she goes out of her way to prove that she is the independent type.
Well, there's going to be plenty of time for that, unfortunately.
I'll tell you what, since you're going to be working here for the next couple of hours, why don't I go back to the hospital, talk to her about it. Then after your late news, I can come back here and pick you up, all right?
It's fine with me. Thank you.
See, I'd better get out of here and let you work.
There's so much going on in the world right now, and it all seems incredibly insignificant to me.
Probably not much in the mood to get in front of the cameras, are you?
Here's an item about Draper being sent to Redstone Prison. At least it's the last thing about this mess that I'm going to have to read over the air.
Yeah, by tomorrow, Draper's going to be old news.
Not to us. Can't tell you how difficult it's been for me having to read these stories about Draper and appear indifferent.
I know. A newscaster's got to be objective.
I don't think I can bite my lip anymore. I don't think I can bite my lip.
Oh,
In the middle of this story, I'm probably
just
going to start
fine.
crying.
Just fine.
You know, this is really some job I have. Get to tell the world about all the terrible things that are happening. Don't you know this is the worst? This is the absolute worst.
Well, at least some things are getting back to normal.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
some good news.
Oh, really? I didn't know there was any such thing anymore.
Well, I think I told you, didn't I? Chief Mallory came to my office, asked me if I'd come back, do a little bit more work for the department, asked me to let bygones be bygones.
How do you feel?
Well, I feel the same. Of course.
Can I have another one of those, Eddie?
Sure.
I'm back.
Anything new?
No, they're still just beating the bushes.
Listen, your table is ready if you'd like to go over and sit down. You
sure.
can take your drinks with you.
Okay. Listen, I'll catch you later on these.
Okay, fine.
I tell you, I have been a cop for more than a few years, and in more than one town, but I've never seen anything like it.
They are a tenacious trio.
Guthrie, Stoner, and Saxon have set up their own private investigation into the Dorn case. They are spending every minute trying to find new leads.
Well, if they need a hand, you make sure that they call me.
It's unprecedented. 3 officers should work so hard to overturn the findings of their own investigation. They are checking and double-checking every piece of information with a fine-tooth comb.
Oh, sort of like a game. Yeah. Like a big puzzle. If they can just find that missing piece, then Draper goes free. I admire him for it. I think you should, too.
I do. Very much. But that is just between you and me.
Well, why are you afraid of letting people know it?
Because I am Chief Hard-Nosed, and don't you forget it. It'd be bad for my image to let out emotions like that.
Oh, yes. We got to keep up appearances here.
Look, officially, this investigation is closed. The guilty party is on a train headed towards the state penitentiary. I can't condone what they're trying to do.
You're not going to stand in their way.
No. No, if by some horrible fluke the wrong man's been convicted, I want Draper Scott out of prison and the guilty party in prison.
Well, I think you ought to keep an empty cell available, because I think you're going to need it.
Well, Draper couldn't hope for 3 better cops on his side.
Nope. Now they're zeroing in on Nola Madison's alibi.
Well, now, I don't know if Steve saw Nola's double that night or not. But even if he did, that still doesn't place Nola at the Dorn penthouse.
But, if she did pay that Barnes woman to disappear so that her alibi couldn't be challenged, then what we have is a whole new kettle of fish. Sure would like to find that lady.
Yeah, I would too, but so far, no luck on that.
Tell me, and just between the 2 of us, what do you think about this disappearing wig business, huh?
I don't know what to think about this wig. I don't know if it was stolen or if Margo Dorn sent it out for a haircut or whatever the hell they do with wigs. But if it is sitting in a beauty parlor somewhere, we might as well just give up on it.
Yeah. But if it was stolen, I can't help wondering why anybody would steal just a wig. Oh, my God.
Hello there. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
As a matter of fact, you are.
Oh, good. I hope it wasn't anything trivial like football.
No. Football season is finished, just like our dinner. I'm really sorry about this, Raven. We were about to leave,
Logan,
so...
sit down. You haven't even eaten yet. Aren't you going to introduce us?
No.
I'm Derek Mallory. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Mallory. Please forgive my husband. He can be terribly rude sometimes. Besides, it's not Mr. Mallory, it's Chief Mallory, right?
That's right.
Tell me, Raven, is this just a happy coincidence?
No. They told me where you were at the office.
That, Jenny, she's not supposed to tell people where I am except in an emergency if she wasn't civil service.
This was an emergency. I haven't seen you in almost a week. I missed you.
Sure.
This table's only set for 2. Obviously, you're not expecting female company.
We were discussing business.
Okay, I'll be quiet. I'll be a good little girl. that okay with you, Chief?
You better ask Logan about that.
Oh, he doesn't care. He's thrilled to see me. He's just hiding it.
Thrilled.
So, how do you like your job?
Pays the rent.
I was really surprised when Bill Marceau retired. How does it feel to take over for a person with a reputation like that?
Well, I don't know if I can fill his shoes, but the desk seems to be about the right size.
Raven, at the risk of being rude, Chief Mallory and I are discussing business, and it's very private business.
You don't trust my discretion, darling?
You want a straight answer or a funny one?
You know, actually, I can see why Bill Marceau retired. He can have more time with his wife now. How about your wife?
I'm not married.
Oh, I love it. The subtlety of a sledgehammer.
Oh, you're not? Well, I'm surprised. Such an attractive man.
I'm divorced.
Sorry. Divorce is a nasty word, isn't it?
Not necessarily.
Well, anyways, I don't mean to put down Bill Marceau, but I must say it's very nice to have an attractive, eligible bachelor as chief of police.
Raven. It's a game, you see. Is the game over for this evening?
I wish you a lot of luck. Can I call you Derek?
Please do.
I like your friend. I'm glad you have a friend. How's Jamie?
He's fine.
We have an adorable little boy. He looks just like his daddy.
Yes, I know. I've met Jamie. He's a fine young man.
Oh, really? I'll have to call Geraldine and say hello. Maybe she'll put Jamie on. I can talk to him.
Jamie doesn't keep the same hours that you do. He'll have been asleep for quite some time. Besides, he's not with Geraldine this evening. He has a sitter.
Geraldine went out. Why didn't you call me? I could have taken care of him.
I didn't want to impose.
Well, the way Geraldine dotes on him, it must have been something very important if she left him.
Yeah, she's spending the evening at WMON.
Is she being interviewed?
No, she's working there. It's the first night of a new job.
What? Geraldine Whitney Saxon has a job?
You got it.
Oh, come on. What happened when I left? Did the stock market crash?
She's working there as a favor to April.
Somehow, I cannot picture Geraldine pushing a television camera around a studio.
April needed a new station manager, and Geraldine agreed to take on the job.
Geraldine knows nothing about television.
She's getting a couple of weeks of on-the-job training to see if she can handle it, all right?
Good for her. What time is it? Oh, I have to go. I'm sorry. I was going to meet someone and I'm late already.
Please don't let us keep you.
Look, it's very nice to meet you.
My pleasure.
I hope we can get together sometime, have a little talk. We could be friends.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Don't work too late. Tell Jamie that his mother will come by and see him sometime. Bye-bye, darling. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta. Well, you've met the wife.
Yeah, but from the way you described her, I was expecting to meet some kind of vampire with green skin and 3-inch fangs.
Well, Raven can turn on the charm when she wants to. But now that you've met her, take my advice. Do yourself a favor.
What's that?
Try to forget it.
Should have known that the only time I would be in Monticello's most fashionable hairdressing salon would be on business. Of course, with the prices you guys charge, don't quite exactly fit police detectives' budget.
Don't feel bad. Most of my wife's working friends have the same complaint.
Did you style Margo Dorn's hair? Or was she handled by one of your associates?
I took care of Mrs. Dorn personally. Margo would settle for nothing less than the best.
And how often did she come in to see you?
Once a week. We had a standing appointment, which she was often forced to break.
Oh, because of her busy schedule, of course.
And she was always in the public eye.
That's why you sold her the wig. Isn't that right?
Michael, would you take over, please? I suggested Margo buy that hairpiece about a year ago. Now, it took some doing, but I finally managed to find a wig that was wonderfully close to her own hair color. And I don't see how anyone would have known the difference.
Since you sold her the piece, did you also take care of it?
Oh, yes. Whenever Mrs. Dorn sent it in to be cleaned and styled, I treated it as if it were her own hair. As a matter of fact, it was. Why this interest in Margo's wig?
Well, we're conducting an inventory of the things that belong to Margo. Is the hairpiece here?
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
Detective, I'm not running an assembly line operation. I know exactly whose wigs are in my shop and whose aren't.
I see.
As a matter of fact, it was styled and returned a week or so before her death.
Now, isn't it possible that the wig could have been kept somewhere other than the original box?
Unless the wig was kept on its form inside that box, it would lose its shape.
Meaning that the wig should have been on the form in the box in the apartment.
Mrs. Dorn was a very meticulous woman. The way she took care of that wig, I'm sure it was.
That's very interesting. Before you go back to your customer, I would just like to ask you one more question.
A phony fundraising story as a filler, as a bridge between the sports and the weather.
That's good. Look, Laura's got some extra copy filler in case we run short of time.
Oh,
Check.
good. That
Copy
happened.
tonight.
Jerry, excuse me for a minute. Geraldine, welcome to WMON.
WMON station manager, such as she is, reporting for duty.
It's so good to see you here. Well, I guess the best thing for you to do is just watch the studio routine. And that way, when they start throwing those technical terms around, you'll know what they're talking about.
Well, until I do, there's one station manager who's going to be seen but not heard. Nicole, has something out of the ordinary happened?
Why do you ask that?
This place seems to be in a state of utter confusion.
Well, it's like that before every show. You see, this is orchestrated madness. Everybody knows what everybody else is doing, and it is absolutely necessary.
I can see I'm going to be serving a long apprenticeship.
Well, you'll catch on pretty soon. Just don't be afraid to ask questions.
Oh, you can be sure I'll be doing a lot of that.
Everyone is aware of the situation. A very nice bunch of people here. I'm sure they'll be very happy to cooperate with you.
That's very reassuring. I'm going to need a lot of help.
Well, people are pretty busy right now, so if you don't mind, I think we'll save the formal introductions until after the show.
Well, since you and I are such good friends, I have no doubt I will be running to you when I need information. I just hope you don't mind.
No, I'll do everything I can to help. I'm very well versed in broadcast journalism, but for the information about the other departments here, you're going to have to knock on a lot of office doors.
It just is very unfortunate that April has disassociated herself with the station. As Margot's assistant, she must know a great deal about the overall operation.
Yeah, well, the station is the last thing on April's mind right now.
It's a terribly unhappy day for her.
Well, you can imagine how she feels. Her husband's been sent to prison for 15 years.
Good Lord. Nicole, it must seem like an eternity.
Well, we've got a news show to put on, Geraldine.
You're quite right. And there's no time like the present for lesson number 1.
All right. Okay. When the news copy is ready, the writers send it to me so I can edit it. And then after I make my changes, I meet with the directors so we can make sure that we have matching copy. Because the last thing you want when you're on the air live is a surprise.
Then who decides whether a story will run or not?
Usually it's me. Someone would have done me a great kindness by forgetting this came over the wire.
What is it?
Draper Scott, the attorney recently convicted of the murder of Margo Dorn, is getting his last look at the outside world without prison bars to block his view. At this hour, the former attorney is bound for Redstone Prison, where he is to begin serving a 15-year jail term.
Nicole, I know this must be terribly disturbing for you. Why can't you just eliminate that from your report?
Oh, I can't do that, Geraldine.
Why not? You said the option rests with you.
My job is to report the news, like it or not. This is news.
Okay, Nicole, stand by. We got 1 minute to air.
Judge Martin Oliveri took into consideration Mr. Scott's upstanding reputation in the community before imposing the 15-year jail term, which is the lightest sentence permissible for a conviction of murder in the 2nd degree. Mr. Scott has been remanded to Redstone Prison, a medium-security facility in the northwest part of the state. I have more news after this message.
Want to see this, Mrs. Saxon? It just came off the wire.
Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, my God.
Jerry wants Nicole to use it first thing out of the break.
This information is so sketchy.
Nicole can handle it. She's a real pro.
5 seconds to air, Nicole. Stand by.
Thank you for joining us again. I've just received a news bulletin from the Northwest Wire Service. The Graham County Express heading north with stops at Lawrenceville, Grand Falls, Garrison, and Redstone Prison derailed earlier this evening as a driving rainstorm washed out the Grand Falls Bridge. Rescue teams at the site report extensive damage to the train. Many passengers are feared dead.